Hey everybody, Greg Pruitt here with Idaho Dispatch, and I am sitting here today with Representative Sage Dixon. And before we get into kind of some policy questions, can you first let people know which district you're from, which party you're from, and kind of what area your district covers?
Absolutely. So I represent District 1, which is always, or all the way at the top of the state. It's always there at the top of the state. My district borders Canada, Montana, and Washington, and goes right down to about the Kootenai County line. I am a Republican. I've been serving in this seat for 3 terms, so this is the beginning of my 4th term. And currently I'm the chairman of the Business Committee in the House. Okay, awesome. So, you know, we had a lot of stuff happening last year with coronavirus and kind of the response from the legislature and wanting to be more involved in that. What is your goal, or what do you, I guess, hope to accomplish individually, or what are you wanting to work on? And then what do you hope as a body you guys can work on here in 2021, now that you're back in session and the coronavirus is, you know, still kind of a thing? We're still dealing with it, yes. I think many of us, our first goal was to get down here and reestablish that balance of powers, and how we felt that we weren't a part of the conversation when coronavirus came and the emergency order came through, and the necessity of us representing our constituents and having a voice in all these decisions that were being made affecting everybody throughout the state. Vastly different than emergency orders where you have wildfires or flood and they're kind of localized, and there's some sense in the governor having that ability to do that. But when this was somewhat of an arbitrary order going throughout the whole state and affecting everybody, we certainly felt like we should be involved. So thankfully we just passed something off the floor today to start to fix that arrangement a little bit, and some of the larger bills will be coming soon, I think, that are still working on that.
Okay. And so do you think that's the one big thing you hope to see the legislative body come out of this session, or do you have some other things you hope to see?
Absolutely. I hope we can get that done. There's been a lot of discussions with the House and Senate, so I'm hopeful. Sometimes the Senate isn't always on the same page as the House, and that makes it difficult, but that is one of the largest things that I was interested in. I'm always interested in electoral issues, voting, keeping voting as equitable as it can be and not being able to be manipulated about that. Our legislative process is something really important to me, and how we make law and protecting that way that the legislature makes law. I have some issues I'm working on to protect families and children in crisis, and going forward with that. So those are a couple personal things I'll be working on as well.
Okay. Is that anything in particular you'd want to discuss now on how you're trying to protect families and kids? Or?
Well, I have House Bill 4, which is stating that if there is an emergency order or declaration or any one of those different permutations of that does not constitute a compelling state interest to go remove a child from a home or to force a vaccination on a child or something like that. Our parental rights language talks about a compelling state interest, and that's what would allow the state to come do something like that. Otherwise, parents have the superior position, as they should, in doing that. So a lot of these stress and angst that parents were feeling when the governor suspended some rules technically could have allowed, that rule suspension could have allowed CPS to go into homes and remove children, and there was some fear, and I saw that as a viable thing that needed to be addressed. So if we ever have a situation like this again, they can't say, well, the state must go remove these children because the parents have COVID, say, or something to that effect. So that was important to me, and thankfully that'll come forward. I'm just tweaking the language at this point a little bit. And then there's a program called Safe Families for Children that is in many other states, and it's kind of an intermediary position where if a family's in crisis and the state may be coming to step in and take the children into foster care, this protects the parents' ability to go put them with somebody else. There's agencies that will help facilitate that. It's usually done through churches, and they will have families lined up that are willing to take those children for a temporary period of time in order for mom and dad to kind of try and work things out before the state comes and removes the child. So it's another positive in protecting families.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, is there any other message you'd like for the people of Idaho to know, or the people in your district?
We're working hard to protect our rights and to reestablish our relationship with the governor so that we can accurately represent our people. I think that's important to know, that many of us in this building are. In fact, the majority of us are. It's not just a small group, but that most of us feel that there was an imbalance and we need to fix that, and I'm optimistic that we're going to. So I think it's important just to keep telling people in Idaho that over and over in order to help with any of those feelings that we have and what's happening now, and hopefully one soon, but that we're still going through.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.